It's my second favorite week of the year. It's Thanksgiving. I'm Joe Giglio, your host of Picks and Pizza. Josh Goodson, RTP Mortgage. Josh Goodson, Carolina grad. Josh Goodson, completely conflicted State fan. Joining me here on a very special Thanksgiving edition of Picks and Pizza. We're going to have some extra expanded college football picks this week, Josh.
A feast of picks, even.
Yes, we're going to go 5 total games this week because State and Carolina play each other.
Yep.
So we don't have to pick 2 separate games. We just get one there. So I decided to let's get a little crazy. Let's get some bonus picks. But first, let's get into how we're doing on the season. You went 2-1 last week. You're now on the season above 500, 19, 18, and 1. Given how you started, that is remarkable. So 19, 18, and 1 is your record. My record is 16, 20, and 2 after going 2-1 last week. So we'll get the formalities out of the way. We'll start with State and Carolina. Spoiler, you're picking State. I'm picking Carolina.
But who do you want to pick? You say you've been doing this the last few weeks of just taking the opposite side. I want you to tell me who you want to pick. Don't do the I'm just taking UNC because it's been working thing.
Okay.
Unless you want to take UNC because you actually think that they're going to.
This one does conflict me. This is one of those. There are times when you gamble where you sit there and you go, this is not a game I would touch.
Right.
Like we could have that conversation about some games moving down the list here. But this is one of those times like I could see State winning. I could see Carolina losing. I don't see Carolina winning a close game, though. If Carolina wins, I just think they win the football game.
Right.
So the number doesn't bother me here, what the number is. I think this is more of like just a pick 'em.
Gotcha.
Right? Mm-hmm. So am I inclined to think NC State is going to win this football game because I think Carolina is a mentally weak team? Yes. But after picking against State for 4 weeks in a row, I am not going to suddenly jump on the bandwagon. So there you go. Drake May finally gets it done this week.
And you may not be wrong. I mean, State still plays with a very, very thin margin.
Yeah.
Right. The last 4 weeks, is it 4 weeks? Yeah. The last 4 weeks has been the perfect get the lead, then sit.
Stay on schedule.
Don't do anything stupid. No bad turnovers. And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's part of me that thinks like they've been very clean. What happens if a tip ball goes the wrong way and it ends up taken to the house and UNC gets a 14-0 lead or 10-0 lead? So I don't think you're wrong with that. And I kind of agree with you. If UNC wins, it's probably something happened early and State just can't play catch up because they still are they're still limited on offense.
Brennan Armstrong's playing in this game though?
Yeah, as far as I know.
All right. No catastrophic Ethan Rhodes.
A part of me did think like if it was Ethan Rhodes and like it would just be KC basically running Wildcat.
The line would have already moved.
Yeah.
If Vegas had gotten wind of
correct
State not having a quarterback on scholarship able to play in this football game, right?
That's correct.
You have to put your faith in Vegas at certain points in your life. So, all right. Well, of course, anytime we talk about college football here on Picks and Pizza, it's brought to you by Wings Over Raleigh, Wings Over Greenville, Wings Over Chapel Hill. They have unbelievable wings. First and foremost, great selection of different flavors also in play. But the best thing, as you know, Josh, on Hillsborough Street, free parking. So you go to wingsover.com, you order your food, you get that free parking behind, they're right across from UT on Hillsborough Street. You order them, they're on time, they're delicious. Ryan is actually up in his homelands of the greater New England, Massachusetts area this week, but his crew will still be there this week. So go check them out. It's wingsover.com. All right, so let's get into our lock of the week. And funny enough, we're going to go head to head on the lock of the week too, because Iowa, who absolutely kicked me in the nuts last week by missing an extra point to cover. No thanks to Joe Ovius. You know, when I get hot, I like to go back to the well. Like if I win a bet, like I'm wearing the same clothes, I'm like staying in the same room, I'm calling from the same phone, or I'm using the same computer. Like I am a routine guy.
Sure.
Ovius doesn't tell me that he was in Virginia last week. Like, motherfucker. Just say, I'm going to be in Virginia.
I told you.
He did not tell. Well, he did tell me. I did not put it in the context of, wait a second, Ovius is going to be in Virginia. I can place bets legally through Ovius.
Whose fault is that?
So
he's always trying to blame other people for his issues.
It's never my fault.
I did go to NC State, Josh. That's how it works. You blame other people.
So Steve Young, of course, was at the State Virginia Tech game. So I texted him Saturday morning. Here's my DraftKings info. Oh, why is your login that, Joe? Well, because Josh Goodson created my login for me when he was in Connecticut. Jerk. Neither here nor there. I had Iowa -2.5. They score late. They're up 2. They get an extra point block. This is all my way of saying, please feel bad for me. I had a bad beat last week.
I do.
So now we go head to head though, because Iowa on the road at Nebraska. This game's actually on Friday. Nebraska is a home 2.5 point favorite. I'm riding my Hawkeyes. I am taking my Hawkeyes. I don't know how you're a State fan and can't like Iowa. You are a self-loathing person. I don't understand you.
I feel like Iowa chooses to be who they are on purpose. I don't think State's trying to be Iowa.
Dave doesn't.
No, but
come on.
Dave wants more skill and more points than what they're doing. They just don't have it this year. So they've turned into Iowa way more this year than they have. This week, look at the card. Look at 5 and 6 teams,
which Nebraska is
to try to get bowl. Like look for bowl eligible teams. So I kind of, when I was scouring down the card, I was who's 5 and 6, who's at home. I think that matters.
Yeah, agree.
Who still cares, basically.
But why wouldn't Iowa care?
Because they've already clinched the Big Ten West. They're gonna get killed by Ohio State or Michigan next week. I'm not saying they don't care. I just don't think Iowa's great. To give me Nebraska -2 at home to make a bowl in Matt Rule's first year.
Matt Rule 0-2 against top 25 teams this year.
Don't care.
Matt Rule,
Iowa's like a fake top 25 team.
Matt Rule 0-11 at Baylor. One of the great ruses of all time. Matt Rule trying to convince people that he can actually coach football.
So he's due, is what you're getting at.
Sure. This is a drive to Virginia game. Give me my Hawkeyes in this game. All right, we're moving on, and we are now going to diverge.
Okay.
I'm going to stay in the Big Ten, and I am going to go with Michigan. I love all of this Harbaugh pettiness. I love all of the world's out to get us. It's Michigan against everybody. I think Ohio State, despite Ryan Day's proclamations to the contrary, is a soft fucking team, and they're going to get pushed around by Michigan at the Big House on Saturday. This number's 3.5.
Yeah.
This is one of those where you would usually text me and say, Joe, that's stinky. That's smelly for a reason. They want you to take that, but I'm falling for it. Give me the Wolverines without Jim Harbaugh. Smaller number. Maybe the Harbaugh factor is moving that down a point or two.
Maybe I was going to kind of go the other way of, you think it should be like, what, 7?
Yeah, 6.
But it goes back to if Duke basketball is ever a 7-point underdog against anybody, I'm just going to blanket. I will take them, whatever, blind. I don't care. There's probably a reason for it. So I think this is Vegas. I think part of the reason is Vegas not wanting to be just crushed with Ohio State money.
To lose their shirt.
Because I think Ohio State's they're still good.
Yeah.
They can still keep it close.
They're not good on offense, though. They're not what they've been on offense.
No, they're not. No, the under, I don't even know what the total is, but the under seems like probably playing that game.
Right,
but
so
I don't disagree with you on your Michigan play here.
You're going to go for a familiar face with your second game. It's Missouri at Arkansas. Explain this one to me.
Missouri's been riding a little hot. They won. Who did they beat last week? They beat Florida, I believe, at home last week.
Snuck it out.
They snuck it out last week. They beat the crap out of Tennessee the week before. They fought with Georgia. I don't think they're going to lose this game because I think they do have like New Year's 6 bowl implications where they're sitting. They're not going to win the East. They're at Arkansas. The number's 7.5. Arkansas has been feisty this year. Their record's not great, and I think they may get a little bit of a bump. We always, this time of year is wild with coaches leaving, getting fired, and all that. Arkansas came out yesterday and said they're keeping the coach. I don't know if the players love that, but I have to think I have to think
Sam
they do.
Pittman, former Carolina offensive line coach.
I feel like if you're the administration, you're not making that call if the players don't love him.
And here's another corollary for you. They're 4-7, so they don't have a bowl game. So this is their Super Bowl.
top 10 team
at home. Yeah,
again, if you
Mizzou's 9-2. I can't believe Drink has them at 9-2. That's impressive.
If you go look at Arkansas's record games, they've actually been in a lot of games. So 4-7. Missouri will probably sneak it out, but give me the 7.5 with Arkansas.
Starchy.
We pick it.
All right, we disagreed on your next one, but then you talked me into it with a very salient example and one that hit home for me. Oregon State at Oregon. This is a big number for a rivalry game. Oregon is a 13.5 point favorite at home against Oregon State. Which way are you going?
Oregon, lay them.
That's a huge number in a rivalry game. So explain this to me. Why you think?
I think Oregon State, one of our principals, Oregon State poured it out
against Washington last week.
Yeah, and it was weird weather, but still lost at home against Washington last week. Poured it out against that. Had to get off the mat to go play, number one. Number two, remember, was it 2016? No, it wouldn't have been 2016. 2017 or 2018. It was one of those years. NC State 5-0. I think it was a Ryan Finley year. Went down to Death Valley. I believe Trevor was still the quarterback there. The number was something like 17 points. And I lost my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like,
we talked all week about that one.
I'm like, I mean, I don't think we're going to
win.
I don't think we're going to win, but like we're 17-point underdogs. Like that is so disrespectful. That's stupid. People are dumb.
Yeah.
And then what happened? 17 wasn't enough.
No.
State got crushed. I kind of feel the same way in this sense of Oregon State's really good. They've played well. They've probably have hit the peak of what they are. Now they have to go play Oregon, who I think Oregon's probably the best team in that league. They've been playing like the best team in that league since they lost to Washington.
I was going to say, is Oregon the best team in the country?
I don't know about that, but they're top 3 team now, in my opinion. I think that number's that high for a reason. I'm going to lay it, even though I know it's the rivalry game. It's actually the last rivalry game for right now because I don't think they've actually re-upped that one. Like they did just re-up the Apple Cup.
Yeah,
but they did not re-up this one. Yeah, there's no announcement on that, but 13.5. There's a reason for that. Laying it with Oregon.
All right, I'm going to go the complete opposite way. Also in a rivalry game, Oregon is at home, so I see some of your reasoning there. They have a lot to play for. They're also in. They have to impress the committee. So like they can't be sneaking things out and squeaking things out because they have that loss. So even if they win this game and beat Washington, they need to impress people. They have to look good. So that's when you get in Urban Meyer mode of, oh, you want to make this into a beauty contest?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to put 55 up on
Correct.
You. I'm going the opposite way, and this is a little bit crazy, but I'm taking Auburn. They're at home. It's 14.5. Auburn just lost to New Mexico State. I actually don't think Auburn is that bad. They've been feisty this year. They were feisty at home against Georgia. The whole world is now telling them how bad they are. Alabama has like win out, and I think Alabama's in the playoff. Yeah. So Alabama has a little bit of this, a little bit of, we got Georgia next week.
Yeah.
14.5 in this game is a lot. We're not that far removed from Alabama struggling like hell against South Florida.
Sure.
I get that it's different. It's a different quarterback, all those other things. We're not that far removed from it. This isn't 2020 Alabama rolling out 5 NFL receivers.
This game seems to, I don't want to say this game always delivers. But like Alabama, Auburn play some weird games, and
including last year.
More often than not, this ends up being a game in recent history. A lot of times that you think it's a layup. So I agree with you. I think Hugh Freeze also has some pretty good history
against Alabama,
against Nick Saban.
I like Auburn. I like the points in this game. All right, and you're going to close this out with another great coin toss in Big Ten country.
Can't believe I have 2 Big Ten West home teams.
It's embarrassing.
It's the same thing. 5-6 team. Go to a bowl game if you win. At home, small dog. Getting
Minnesota,
to
Wisconsin,
and then Wisconsin's like struggling. They've looked bad recently. They
pulled it out of their ass last week against Nebraska.
Yeah, but they have not been good. PJ Fleck, he'll probably get a new job at some point, I would imagine, and get out of Minnesota. But give me the 5-6 home team who needs to win to make a bowl.
You know what I respect, Josh, is a man's got to live by a code, and you live by that code. You follow your own rules. It's impressive. That's why you're 19, 18, and 1, and I am 16, 20, and 2. Can we have a quick aside before we get to the RTP Mortgage final lock of the week for us?
Sure.
I had to go look up how college football teams have done against the number this year. And I had already mentioned that New Mexico State beat Auburn last week.
Right.
Do you remember our very first college football week 0 pick this year? I believe we both had New Mexico State against UMass.
Yeah, because UMass was the worst team in college football.
Yeah, so we both had New Mexico State. You realize now New Mexico State on the season is 9-2-1 against the number. That is utter, like that is moving up into Matt Freege territory of terrible losses in my gambling career. I cannot believe they lost outright at home to UMass in the season opener,
and now they're
have turned around and turned this thing into like
are they 9-2 or 10-1 overall?
They do not have 10 wins, but they are a team that has. I am just irrational over how good they've become, and I think that they've won 7 in a row now as well. So it's like, what in the world is going on with New Mexico State? Why are you torturing me in the way that you are torturing me? Like, I don't understand why you have to do this to me. You don't have to do this to me. You don't have to be that way.
Did you want no part in ECU laying points at home this week?
Poor ECU. Yeah, listen. Auburn beat UMass 59-14, and then they lost to New Mexico State 31-10. Okay, and New Mexico State, of course, lost to UMass 41-30.
Yeah,
like
very normal college football stuff.
New Mexico State 9-3 against the number. They get Jacksonville State this week, and then they play Liberty. So, but yeah, when I looked that up, I was like, wow. UNLV 10-1 against the number. They're the number 1 team in the country against the spread, which is important to some people. But then I'm like looking down. I'm like, New Mexico State, you son of a whore. I cannot believe you. That's a perfect segment too. The lock of the week for me is Kentucky at Louisville. Joe Ovius is not a person who likes to entertain what if and doomsday scenarios. We talked about this on the OG podcast. I think Florida State's going to get jumped. I think they're going to finish unbeaten.
No,
I think they're going to get jumped, and I think this game is part of the reason why they're going to get jumped, because I think Louisville is going to lose to Kentucky. And then I think the committee is going to be like, well, Georgia's got 1 loss. Alabama's got 1 loss. We're going to put both of them in because Alabama just won the SEC championship. Georgia's 12-1. They were our number 1 team. Well, what did they do against Kentucky? Well, wait a second. Florida State didn't play Kentucky. Yeah, but Louisville did. Like, can't you see Boo Corrigan have to explain this convoluted transitive property bullshit on the day of Selection Sunday? I can see it. Rivalry game. First of all, you've been right about Louisville all year. They're not that good. They just played an emotional game against Miami to win.
Lost again
to win the Coastal Division.
Yeah.
And make the ACC championship game. I just don't see how they are super duper locked in for this rivalry game. Devin Leary being on Kentucky and being in charge of their offense does give me some pause, but this is 7 points. This feels like another one of those stinky line games that maybe I'm not paying attention to. If the big blue wall was to ever kick in, I would appreciate it. From the pandemic, I am still scarred from that telecast where all they talked about was the big blue wall for Kentucky football. What are your holiday plans, Josh? What are your Thanksgiving plans? You got your fam?
Staying in town, being Wendell, America.
Okay. You got any golf on the docket?
Not with the weather now. I might play Friday.
Okay. Well, maybe you'll be sitting around your house and you know what? I need to have a bigger space for Thanksgiving. I need to have a bigger space for next Christmas.
My phone rings surprisingly more around the holidays than you would think, because there's a lot of people visiting people and saying, we like living here. It's not 25 degrees and snowing because I'm from New York or wherever I'm from. It's 60.
Or it's like, hey, wow, they have a really great TV room that's like next to the kitchen and all. Hey, the only way you'll know what you can afford is to reach out to Josh at RTP Mortgage. The number is 252-361-1415, 252-361-1415, or you can go to rtpmortgage.com, rtpmortgage.com. Again, the market's not great, okay? But you want to know what your options are. You want to know what you can afford, and maybe you do need a cash out refi action for Christmas or for cover some credit card debt or do some other stuff like that. Again, the best thing to do is to know what your options are. My mortgage is through RTP Mortgage. Josh is on my side. He can be on yours too. So give him a call, 252-361-1415. 15. All right, Josh. I will see you on Saturday. I'm actually kind of surprised that you haven't invited me to sit with you in the first half, since I sat with you in the first half of the Miami game. But if you're feeling good, you come by Saturday night. We'll be at the Breeze Through, the OG proper on Saturday night.
I hope I'm feeling good.
Okay. You know what, Josh? For your sake and the holiday spirit, I hope you're feeling good. Joining me now on the in-person Heister Automotive Group hotline. Joining me now from the Oakwood Pizza Box on Person Street. It is Wednesday. Anthony Guerra, the pizza czar of Raleigh. I had the question on my timeline earlier today. You are open today on Wednesday?
Open today. Today will be a big day. Order early. Order often, I guess, as well, but start early.
Wednesday, you're open. Thursday, you're closed. Are you open on Friday?
Friday afternoon, we're going to be open. We won't be open for lunch, but I'll open up at night. So
okay. And a normal Saturday, Sunday schedule.
Normal Saturday, Sunday schedule. We'll go right back to normal.
Okay. You're going to be able to handle West Durham and the ACC Network's requests on Friday night.
West Durham, I do need to call West Durham back. I did not call West. I feel bad. Sorry, West Durham. But you need pizzas. We don't need to talk about it. We got you. Just give us a look. Give us a look.
All right.
We'll hit you with pizzas.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving. We're going to talk a little bit about our NFL picks. But first, we are live here at the Oakwood Pizza Box on Person Street. You can order online to oakwoodpizzabox.com, or you can come in, get yourself a Narragansett. We just had a little Colonel Taylor to celebrate Thanksgiving, as it is traditional to do. It's not Sambuca, but thanks to Ken, the Colonel Taylor coming in handy once again. And like I said, we're live. And you know what? Sometimes you just have to say, fuck it. We'll do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Right. Fucking thing sucks.
The great one.
I have never been more proud of my editing skills than I am right now.
Joe, we're doing offsites. I mean, we're doing it all. We're doing it all here. And we're getting clips like that on the fly. That was an on the fly moment because I believe I just said, fuck it, we'll do it live. Yeah. And it turned into a whole bit. I'm excited. Can we do an offsite at the Josh Goodson Cave?
We can. We just need Goodson to invite us out to the Wendell Country Club. That's all.
All right.
Once he does that, we'll be fine. All right. Bad news for me. I went 0-3 last week. That means I am now on the season 16-16. Anthony, the pizza czar of Raleigh, is 17-14-1, 2-1 last week, and now a truly ridiculous 8-2 on your props on the season. 8-2 on your props on the season. Listen, if you people like money, download the podcast, rate us 5 stars only, positive vibes only. Follow us right here on the YouTubes. I don't know what you're waiting for. 8-2 is preposterous. That's preposterous.
It is. Some would call it lucky, but I feel like lucky would be like some sort of a 6-4, 7-3, 8-2 though.
8-2.
Maybe it's skill.
Kind of sort of ridiculous. So let's get into our Thanksgiving picks because this is my favorite holiday. And you know what? Well, let's start with the Jets because we have a butt fumble anniversary and they're playing one of our favorite teams. J-E-T-S, Jets! All right, the Jets were embarrassed last week by the Bills. They are at home. It was a Thanksgiving night. They're playing on Black Friday. This is an Amazon special. You got to remember the butt fumble, the Mark Sanchez butt fumble was a Thanksgiving night game. So I'm feeling the mojo. I am going. I'm going to take the Jets in this game, in part because I thought the Dolphins were going to pull their dick out and put it on the table last week against the Raiders, and they did not. So I don't know how healthy the Dolphins are. But the Dolphins are a 9.5-point favorite in this game. You have completely given up on your Jets. Melville Anthony has given up on his Jets.
Yep.
I will be reporting back to the community. Were you the Melville Harpooners? What was your high school's nickname?
We were Half Hollow Hills East. And what was our mascot? I don't know what our mascot is.
The Downeaster Alexas?
I don't know.
I'm out. I'm out of.
I don't know what.
Not a fishing
Hills
puns.
East. It was like a horse.
You don't know your high school's nickname right now?
No.
You haven't even had the Colonel.
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Maybe I need the Colonel to straighten out. I got to be honest.
Did you not play for your high school? Did you play basketball in high school?
I did play basketball. I have 4 years varsity letters.
I'm now calling shenanigans that you don't even know your own high school's nickname.
I don't remember this.
You gonna make me Google it?
We're gonna have to. I need intern Tanner. Intern Tanner, can you look it up real quick?
Unreal.
No, I don't know what it is. What's your high school mascot?
The Lancers, man. We were the Lakeland Lancers.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Badass, man.
Wow. We had a bad mascot. I think it was like a horse thing. I don't know.
Get to the Google's machine. No, but you're going against your Jets?
Oh, absolutely. Because on this podcast, we determine you stay with a couple things that win and you just ride it.
Yeah.
Dolphins.
Oh, the Dolphins have been your team.
They've been my team the whole way.
In fairness, I had the Dolphins last week. They screwed me, not you, last week.
Joe, for the listeners, can we talk about this? I bought the game at 9 points. I know you want that hook. I saw Miami -9.
Okay.
So I will take -9.
-9. You're in. You got it. All right. So for our lock of the week, let's go to our lock of the week.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
I mentioned last week that we were remiss in not gambling against the Carolina Panthers. They got their shit packed again last week by the Dallas Cowboys. Now, like, the Cowboys are a good team, particularly if they come off of a loss. You definitely want the Cowboys. But Panthers go to Nashville this week. Tennessee, Willie Levis, Willie Football, Willie Coffee is slinging. He's slinging. It's 3.5, home 3.5 for the Titans. I know the Titans are garbage, but the Panthers are something below garbage at this point. So I am going with my lock of the week. I'm going Panthers I'm going Titans -3.5. What is your lock of the week?
Oh, it's easy. I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Thanksgiving game, I'll be off. I'm going to watch this thing.
Okay.
The Commanders that absolutely, can I say this?
Yeah,
they shit the bed. What the heck happened?
They took the pipe last week and they took them with you.
Wow. That
took you with them because
it was a no doubt game.
Should have been. In theory, they had already lost to the Giants. They should not have been swept by the Giants and poor Tommy DeVito, who looked like Jeff Hostetler out there.
He was
looked like here comes the Hostetler, just slinging it, looking good.
Looking great, by the way. Maybe that's coaching. I mean, somebody's got to win Coach of the Year if Danny DeVito does that again. One more time from DeVito, and I'm giving Coach of the Year out because that guy going from where he started to that game. No, but no doubt in the sense that I got to watch it and relax because I didn't have to watch the second half. I knew I lost. It was over. No doubt. This thing's done. Commanders, terrible job. I do think they will come out to play. There's one problem.
What?
They got to play the Cowboys on Thanksgiving Thursday. Big anti-Thursday guy. Hate the Thursday game. Therefore, I hate the Friday game. You know I hate that about the Jets.
Yeah.
Hate it. But Thursday Thanksgiving, I love.
You do?
Love it. Big game. Cowboys going to come out and smack them.
All right. I have no memory of Tim Boyle at UConn. He also played at Eastern Kentucky. It's going to get into our prop of the week from Oakwood Pizza Buck. Prop of the week. You're going over on Tim Boyle's passing yardage?
I am.
He's from Hartford. Okay.
Big Hartford guy. I remember, listen.
Lions. He started 3 games for the Lions. His career. Everything you need to know about a quarterback you could see on their Wikipedia page. Touchdowns, 3. Interceptions, 9.
No, listen, this is bad.
And you're betting on this guy.
Listen, I like betting on low bars to clear. Now, I am not betting on the fact that Tim Boyle is going to be a big-time quarterback. He's not.
Doesn't have to be.
He's not the answer.
You're going over 160 yards.
160 yards.
Okay.
One screen pass that somebody scoots out, and we're almost in the money.
I hope the high winds of the Meadowlands and Secaucus don't kick up, and this becomes a running game for you. But 8-2 on the year.
I think they're going to run the football. There's no doubt about they're going to try to run the football. The problem is, Joe, they're going to go down 2 scores, and then you got to start to throw to keep it respectable. Hackett, of course, you determine it is not going to be his last year.
No, because they are going to trade for Devontae Adams in the offseason.
Okay.
They're going to they'll try to put Voltron back together with Adams and Aaron, and they'll let Hackett coach them because that's Aaron's chosen play caller.
Okay. It looks bad. But I think that a proficient quarterback might be all the Jets need. And listen, I am not here telling you he's going to throw for 250 and lace the ball.
You're
It's
saying
160 yards. He could get this in the first half.
You're saying 162 is all we need to get to the window.
Give me 161. 160 and a half gets me there. It's a low bar. And also, this is sort of, who's the gentleman who bets the state games? I like this guy. He bets on NC State to lose every game.
Chung Easy.
Great bet. It's sort
Emotional
of like
hedge.
I'm betting, obviously, against the Jets. I think Miami's going to smoke them. I wish the Jets would win. I wish this got close. I'm dying to see Rodgers play in the second half of this year somewhere. Give me a late week 15. I don't know. What is it? By Christmas time, what a Christmas present that would be for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I can actually physically bet them to win, but I can bet Tim Boyle to throw over 160 yards. I hope Zach Wilson stays on the bench forever.
Yeah, they finally pulled the plug on the Zach Wilson experiment.
I would feel great if this was, if I can go to throw money down at the book and say Tim Boyle plus Trevor Siemian, 160 yards today. Anyone on the Jets total passing yards, but let's go for it.
All right, so I am going to go for my final pick because I've given up on props because I suck at them. My final pick is the Cardinals, Kyler Murray, Jonathan Gannon. I don't know why they're trying, but they are. They don't seem interested in getting a high draft pick. So give me the Cardinals at home, as we've talked about. We're trying to focus on our home teams. Well, give me the Cardinals at home against the Rams. Just checking out the ESPN right now. You can get into this NFL game for $12 on Sunday. $12 American dollars. So I don't know why they brought Kyler Murray back. I don't know why they're trying, but they are. They're 1-1 since Murray has returned. Beat Atlanta, lost at Houston in a game that they were scrappy in, though. I think they'll be scrappy again. Give me the Cards. I got the Cards, Titans, and Jets because I'm going Jets. I'm just taking the points because they were embarrassed last week. They have to fight back this week.
Can we get a look at what the price of a beer is at the stadium? $12 tickets.
It's got to be more.
It's got to be more, right?
It's more at PNC Arena, so it has to be more at whatever the corporate
Can we get beer to be a reasonable price?
No.
It's outrageous.
The Canes would tell you that it's because they still are the cheapest in the NHL, one of the cheapest beers in the NHL.
What is that? What's the price though? Last time I paid like $25 for a Labatt.
Yeah, there are some good beer choices there. So I've decided that Sweetwater 420 is my beer of choice at the arena now. $16.
Do you tip are you tipping the attendant?
The first time I tip, the second time I do not tip.
Interesting.
No, first time I do. Yeah.
The second time, no?
The second time I don't. Like, buddy, you're already making a shit ton of money off my $16 beer. Like the markup it's fairly ridiculous.
Unreasonable.
So I went to the club hockey game on Monday night, the State Carolina game. That was actually a lot of fun. My wife ended up buying us tickets down by the glass. So Jackson, Jessica, and I were down basically on the ice there. It was awesome. But I got him a water. No, I got him a cheer wine. I got her a water, and I got a seltzer, a hard seltzer. It was $25.
Youch.
And I'm like, the hell did I? And then I did the tip. It was 31. I did the 20%, and I was like, what the hell did I just? What did I just do?
No, that's wild.
For a bottle of water, a bottle of cheer wine, and a hard seltzer. Like,
that's the weird part of these events. These events have to sort themselves out, in my opinion. I understand you make a boatload of money, go do it. There's got to be a way to make it reasonable.
Yeah.
It's outrageous.
All right. Well, it's Thanksgiving, and in lieu of a pizza question on Thanksgiving, the Oakwood Pizza Box question of the week comes from me, and that is, what was Thanksgiving like on the island? What was your Thanksgiving like?
It was always at my father's mother's house, so grandma's house.
Yeah.
She had a great house.
What'd you call your grandma?
She's just Graham.
Graham.
Okay.
Do you think like the no-nos and the no-nos, that's all like this generation, right?
Yeah, it is.
Like your generation.
Yeah. And like my mom does it. She's not going to listen to the podcast, so I could be honest here.
Yeah. What does she go for?
She goes GG.
GG.
She likes to play. It's close. It's close to acceptable. But to be honest,
my mom goes no for my boys. So
fair enough.
No.
Grandma, granny. You are that old. It's okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound younger if you don't say grandma.
Well, my dad's mom, who lived with us, her name was Virginia, but literally everybody called her Nana. Like even people off the street called her Nana.
I'm
Nobody
assuming
called
she had
her Virginia.
authenticity though to be Nana. Like you
Yeah,
know what I mean? You got to look a certain way.
Yes.
You got to walk. You have to have a certain walk.
I've told you she
Saunter?
had the cheese grater thing that killed
on
my
the
hands
countertop?
forever. No, the thing that you press the mozzarella through.
Oh, the guitar. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Oh,
thing is.
You're
I'm
not.
still scarred from that thing.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
But she was, she cooked. So my dad cooked. She cooked. So what did you guys do on Thanksgiving? Did you go all out?
Oh yeah, it was
Okay.
all. It was always a spread. That was always
What'd you
a
start with?
spread.
What'd you start with on Thanksgiving?
Oh wow, what was it?
You can't even remember your high school's nickname, but now I'm going to
No,
ask you what you started with on Thanksgiving.
I feel like there was always like the large kitchen island.
Yes.
Obviously, we had the bird going.
Yeah.
Snack. What were the snacks? What's the go-to snack? Stuffed mushrooms would always come out.
Yes.
There was always the prosciutto we sliced. With
I was going to say there had to be any pasta involved
the
here.
sesame sticks. You know, those little
Yes.
sticks that have sesame seeds on them.
Yes.
Don't know what they're called, but they're phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And like I would take them and like roll them up.
With the prosciutto.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You just make a little like drumstick out of it. You just
Swizzle
sit there.
stick?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's the best. That's the best.
Did you go lasagna on Thanksgiving?
No lasagna on Thanksgiving. Usually it was a ravioli.
Oh, okay.
A nice ravioli. The bird came out.
Acceptable.
Stuffed mushrooms were always around.
Mm-hmm.
Roasted
go
red pepper. Artichokes
Italian-
always came out, actually.
Okay.
Artichokes were always
Did you
around.
go Italian pastry for dessert in addition
Oh,
to whatever
yeah.
pies?
Listen, absolutely. Dessert's an event at my house.
Yeah.
It still is an event at my house.
What's your favorite Italian pastry?
They can always very high for me, but the ultimate is the Italian cheesecake from Venero's on 1st
Okay.
and 12th. They've
You're-
been there since 1904, I believe, or 1894.
You're not a lobster tail guy?
Oh, lobster tails are legit. If from the right place, that's a legit. My dad's a big lobster tail
Yeah.
guy. He's got his place in Jersey. Actually, he gets a lobster
Yeah,
tail from.
I forgot that you were not
Big,
on the
big-
jerseys. I feel like Jersey has. I'm just going to say it. I feel like they have the better Italian pastries.
Come on,
You
don't believe that.
I do.
You don't truly believe.
It's all New York people. It's not
Can
like
we
it's
get
different.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Same,
Like every little
same-
town in New Jersey has a Italian deli that has
Have
a
we ever-
Chiadelle, has a cannoli. Has
Can we
the
go
cookies,
up and rate them?
the
Can we-
pinoli cookies?
Oh, pinoli cookies are my favorite.
Come on, man!
I crush pinolis.
I'm getting hungry here.
Pinolis are my
so
favorite.
we did
Anything with almond, I'm crushing.
So yeah,
Oh
So-
man,
Thanksgiving was the holiday with our family. Now, believe it or not, it was my mom's family. So her dad had 24 grandchildren. I was the youngest of 24 grandchildren.
oh,
And most of them were in New Jersey, and most of them were at our house in Ringwood for Thanksgiving. We would start with antipasta, stuffed mushrooms.
mm-hmm.
Then we would have lasagna pretty early, right
Yep.
after, like it was pretty quick. Then we would take a break, and then we would go turkey, normal turkey, all those other things, mashed potatoes, stuffing, you name it. And then we would close with the pastries, pie, finocchia,
Oh wow,
right? Got to cleanse the
Wow.
palate there.
wow.
Thanksgiving was it, man. So I still have a super soft spot for Thanksgiving.
Oh, it's a great holiday. Everyone getting together for good reason.
Yes. Yeah. And before we leave, Ovius is still insistent that you can make him a Thanksgiving pizza. And I'm like, Joe, what objectionable item could I put on a Cuban sandwich that you would be like, no, you can't do that? And finally I said, well, okay, fine. I'm just going to put cucumbers on a Cuban sandwich and call it a Cuban sandwich. And he was like, oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I really got to be honest. He's obsessed with it, but I just don't. It goes over my head.
And he
I'm
wants
lost.
rattlesnake and some other bullshit. And I'm like, Joe, no, that's not what pizza is.
Yeah, I'm out.
He got a laser in. You got to
Yeah,
focus in.
he does. He's on that. He's
Well,
on that.
here's to you. Appreciate you, the Oakwood Pizza Box, for supporting the OG Media Company. And even if I lose, it's fine. I've come to terms with one bad weekend can knock you off the horse, man. And I'm not seeing the board right now in the NFL, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to recover. But we'll figure it out, and we'll be back next week for another edition of Picks and Pizza. We'll be back in the Eford Studios, but I like being here.
It is nice.
I mean,
we got the Champagne Cave right over this shoulder right here. Champagne Cave. If you
I haven't even hit the
champagne,
Narragansett yet.
Yeah,
I mean,
right
and I
here.
like being here.
You know, chilled whites. And then directly behind me, of course, you got the reds. A lot of wine needs.
I say once a month we come out.
Yeah,
we'll do
we should.
it.
No, it's fun.
All right, man. Enjoy the holiday. See you soon. I'll see you on Friday, actually, because I'm going to help deliver the pizzas.
Oh, for Wes?
Yeah, I think he's in Morrisville on Friday. So you make them and I'll deliver them.
He's
unless
in
you want
Morrisville?
unless you want to come out. I don't think you're going to
Where are
have
they
time.
putting him up? Is he at the Umstead? ACC Network putting him up at the Umstead? How does that
it's
work?
somewhere else. He wasn't exactly pleased with it, but he's been here. He'll be here all week because of
Now, what time is that game?
the State Carolina game is 8:00 Saturday night.
Okay.
So this is him trying to take care of the ESPN ACC Network crew Friday night. So he needs like 16 pizzas.
Is Dickie Vitale going to be around? Oh.
No, Dickie V. Still down in Tampa.
Jay
He's
Billis?
recovering.
Jay Billis?
No, Jay. Tim Hasselbeck.
Timmy Hasselbeck.
You know, I would bring them over here.
I like Timmy.
I would bring them over here on Friday, but I have a feeling you'll be up to your eyeballs in pizzas. So we'll get it done. I think Ovius is going to come help too. So we'll come pick them up and we'll deliver them. All right.
This is good.
All right, man. Happy Thanksgiving. Enjoyed it, and see you guys next week.